Hey, what's up, guys? Joe here. Just want to try to do another one here for you. We'll try something different. I take a break from the international for a little bit. I'm actually going to try to do a video on something I actually tried to do a video on a while back and ended up losing the footage. But this one's going to be a little bit different, I guess, because I ain't doing the same things I did on that project. This actually hasn't been on the channel yet, other than in the background. So, and I was going to do this intro differently, but it's a little breezy and windy outside, and I ain't got a good mic. So I gotta try to stay as close to the camera as I can. Around here, show you what we're gonna play with today. Do a little intro, tell you about it a little bit, try to do the best I can there without boring the hell out of you. So, that being said, let's get to it. This is my 1978 Chevrolet Nova Rally. Last year of good Novas is what I call them. Rear-wheel drive, front engine, V8. Not those later model crapshoot Toyota based things. This wasn't a popular body style among the Novas and Nova fans, I guess you could say, but they've come around in recent years, at least the last 20. This has been in my family since '98. When I was a kid, I wanted an old car to fix up. We had other projects and things, old trucks and stuff we tried messing with and things like that either gave up on or failed. But overall, I wanted a old Chevy, old muscle car or something. And one day my dad, after work or something, in this town, Maryland, and he came across this old man struggling to get across the street with his groceries, old bag of groceries. It was a rainy day and whatnot, and losing the stuff all over the ground. And Dad stopped to help him out there and everything. He didn't live too far away, so he gave him a ride and all this stuff, and we're shooting the bull. And I don't know how I got on the subject, but the old man asked me, he said, "You want to see my old Chevrolet I got in the garage?" And my dad just figured it was an old truck or just something random. And he popped the garage door, and all he could see was boxes and stuff stacked up, and I think all you could really see was the bumper and the taillights. Here this thing was in there. He said it's a Rally. And my dad's like, "Well, what's the big deal about that?" He said, "Well, it's an Nova Rally." He said it's got the rally wheels, and it used to have the red stripes on it before we had it repainted a few years later, which needs redone. But long story short, we limped it home. Him and my grandfather got it running eventually, and had to wait on the title and all this stuff. The guy's daughter had it in Georgia or something, and so they got it running eventually. And then me, him, and my mom went down one weekend to limp her home when he finally got it running. It only had like the first 2 gears, I think, so he's going up the main drag where we used to live, from Maryland to PA, and probably going about 25 mile an hour, because all I could get into was second gear, I forget. But used to have the single exhaust. At the factory it had a 305 that we eventually found was only running on 7. It was a 305 2-barrel, which another one of those was swapped into it for a while there, and then it was switched over to a 4-barrel quadrijet. And around 99, 2000, I guess you'd say. 2000, I don't know, maybe 2001, I don't know, but yeah, had some dual pipes put on it there, just regular old turbo mufflers or something. Still the same exhaust system after all this time. Don't sound too bad, especially with headers and a 327 in it now, which came around 02, 03, I think, 03, somewhere around there. That engine was in a parts car. Well, it turned out to be a parts car. It's actually an older, probably out of a Chevy truck or something. Of course, you know, you get the usual story. Oh, it's out of a Corvette. It's a Corvette motor, but it could be a Chevy truck motor too. But it's hood open here. 327. We've had it built, rebuilt, whatever, there years ago, and first it was built kind of rowdy. Had a solid lift cam and stuff in it first, and the valve train couldn't handle it, so a bunch of shit broke. And long story short, it's been through a couple sets of heads and stuff for different reasons. Cause it never ran right for the longest time and things. And had a different cam. We obviously had a hydraulic cam and stuff put in it later on, but it was like a used cam or something. And come to find out, a few lobes were shaved off of it. And then a buddy of my dad's, back then I didn't know what I know now. I still don't know everything, but I know a lot more now. A lot more comfortable with things. But I told him how this thing didn't want to run right. I was all getting ready to give up on it and everything, because I was afraid to tear into it and mess it up even more. But I had a good job and making some good money there for a little while when I lived at home. And he said, come on, I'll come up one weekend and we'll tear into it. And I guarantee you I'll fix that thing. And we got to tearing it down there one Saturday afternoon or whatever it was. And long story short, he got that cam out of there, and sure enough, it was wiped out. He made it right. The car's been running great ever since. It's got now it's got like I think it was a sealed power, like 490 lift, something, whatever duration. I don't remember anymore. I don't even have the info tag for all that anymore. But you can set everything at 0 lash or whatever. Nothing special needs to be set, even though it does got the roller rockers, Harlan Sharp roller rockers, and all these, I think, some stud stuff there on the valve train, make it stronger. But it's pretty mild. But it's still pretty snappy at highway speed and whatnot. It ain't real hard off the line because it's got the factory rear in it still. Airplane gears, but it ain't posi, it's slip posi or whatever you want to call it. Mostly the one wheel right rear there. Sometimes the driver kicks in, but anyway, cut to the chase here. So that's the story on it. We got it real cheap, couple $100. I'm not telling you the exact number because, for one, it's never for sale, and it would never go that cheap again. So anyway, cut to the chase. I had it running here. I was going to try to drive it back around Christmas Eve or whatever. It is legal now. Actually, it's permanently legal. It's got antique tags on it now, so I can technically drive it. But anything that's stopping me is I got transmission fluid getting down here on the header somehow, and I don't know where it's leaking from, so I got to figure that out. Never mind that rig up bolt there. That's temporary till I can get to really fixing that, but it's worked for the last 10 years or so. So it's ugly, but it worked. Long story short, somebody helicoiled that and it came out or something. But yeah, I get eventually, after it's running a while and drive it, I get ATF burning off down here. So what I'm going to try to do is get her running here again, pull her up to the garage. I guess I'd sit there and run. And I got one of the new scope, I don't know what you call them, but scope tools where you can look at a camera and put the little thing down in there and look inside things and whatnot, or hard to get areas. I guess we'll sit there and run and try to see if I can pinpoint where it is leaking from. because if it's down there around where the lines go in the transmission, it's going to be a job with these headers in the way. It just makes it a pain in the ass. But I want to get this thing where I can drive it because it's warming up. At least it has been a little lately, on and off. You know what happens when things start to warm up? Everybody wants to get their hot rods out and cruise around. Well, I want to be one of them people every once in a while. So I want this thing to where I can get in it, turn the key, and go somewhere. Because this thing has been notorious for things like that, just little annoying things keep me from driving it. Because I deemed it undrivable or unsafe, and I didn't want to take the chance. At least that's how it's been in recent years. I did daily this thing for a long time, back when I first got it running, because I had to for a while, but even then I had issues I had to keep messing with. Like this thing, as you'll see, got a little easier, but it's a little hard to get primed up from sitting. Don't want to start right away. I do got a new battery in it, so we'll try to see what happens here. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talking, so I'm gonna get the keys, see if we can get this thing started and pulled up here. Alright, before I get to go starting this car up while you can still hear good and I can explain. This is the tool I got. I ordered it a couple months ago off one of my China sites. Figured I'd take a chance on it, pretty cheap. But it actually works pretty good from what I can tell. It's no name brand, I guess you could call it. It's off that one site there. It rhymes with email. But probably the best purchase I've gotten off there so far. Kind of hit and miss, but anyway. I use that to try to find this leak after I get the car running and idling. I'm gonna get the keys here and get her pulled up here. Well, don't mind the odd seats. I'm not done with that yet. That was part of that last video where I lost footage. I still got to change out the other one. I wasn't expecting to do this one, but I had to. It was literally broke, the frame of the seat. Holy crap. Now I'm too close. Now I'm too far. It's still not quite right, but anyway. See if this battery's still up. Bear, what do you think? You want to go bye-byes, don't you? Try to get some gas up in here. It probably ain't doing shit, but it takes forever to get gas up in this thing. Now watch this. As soon as I take this lid off, I'll get it running. I don't know what's up with that. It seems to be how it always is. If I don't do it this time, I'll be shocked. And that's a clean filter, so it should be getting there. So, any carburetor gurus or whoever got any ideas what causes that, let me know. I even put a fuel pump that's rated for a 350 on this thing and everything. Now watch, it'll probably pop off. Yep. There it is, she runs. Cold natured. Sit there and run a little bit. Oh, she's going to die. It don't sound too bad. Sounds good. No race car, but it sounds like one. front here a little bit and pull up the garage. Well, let's pull her up here. Oh, brakes a little locked up. This thing sit here and run, maybe. All right, I got it shut down now. You can see there's kind of some smoke here. I tried doing it while it was running, but take this camera thing back down in here, and I think I can kind of see where it's coming from. I don't know how fun it's going to be to get to, but let me see if I can get this place in a position where I can show you. I think it has something to do with where the kick down goes in or something. So I'll come back when I get this in place. Alright, I can't get a pinpoint on exactly what I'm looking for. I know I could see some wet areas. It's just down around the lines there somewhere. I know that. It's metal lines going in though, so I don't know why it's leaking. Unless one of them's golded through against something or what. But it used to not have a leak. So I guess the last couple times I drove it. But as you can see, it's a bitch to get to with the headers and all that crap in the way. And so I had to jack this thing up here and put on jack stands and whatnot. See if I can get a better look at things. I don't like doing things that way, but I ain't got no lift, so that takes money, and I ain't got money. I got enough to get by. All the while trying to be a car guy. Gotta love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing jacked up, I guess. And then come back. Alright, so I got it jacked up here on jack stands. Done a little digging around here and stuff. And I can kind of see it from the bottom, and I got a better view on this camera. You see it's all wet around that stuff. I don't know if it's coming from the lines here or this what I'm pretty sure is the kick down. I don't think it's a dipstick tube. I think that's a kick down cable that is inoperable anyway for some reason. This trans never did. Once it was rebuilt, it didn't need a kick down or something, or it ain't right. I don't know. You gotta manually shift it, but I tried putting the cable and it still didn't work right. Also, I think front brakes was a little stuck there or something. I don't know which one, but I did put new lines on there. I did all the brakes, I think, except for the master cylinder and the booster there a couple years ago. This side ain't locked. That side ain't either. Maybe they're just a little stuck because of sitting. But I'm gonna start this back up and see if we can see anything seeping. yet. I don't see nothing yet. I'm gonna keep an eye on it here off camera. If anything develops, I'll come back and show you. Otherwise, I'm a little puzzled. Maybe I need to put it in gear or something. I don't know. I ain't got the wheels off the ground to do that, but we'll see what happens there. Alright, so I didn't find nothing definite. It just looks wet down there. I don't know. I think maybe there's a spot. It's hard to see where. Hold on, let me see if it's on camera here or where it's at. But how did I see that? I just saw something. There's all kinds of fluid right there on whatever that is. Looks like a trans line or something. Oh. Alright, we're under here now. Yeah, there might be a bad spot here. Be a couple things going on there, but it's definitely trans fluid. Yeah, I don't like that right there beside the header. So till I fix that, it can't be driven. Not safely. I'm gonna have to, easiest way is to take the friggin' header off. See what we can do here. Great, grand, wonderful. Alright, well, might as well break out the tools. Alright, so I got that flange that I took off down there. Gotta get the top bolts here, pull off the plug wires. Fortunately, gotta get all this stuff off here and out of the way. Hopefully I can salvage gaskets. This big rig up off here. I'll fix this right one day. Somebody either coiled it, and then one time I had to do this exhaust gasket and this other gasket, and it all screwed out, and it's got a massive 1/2 inch hole there now, or whatever that is, 1/2 inch, 7/16. Luckily it ain't in a water jacket, but still kind of sucks. So either radial coil it or something. Not sure yet. Worry about that later when I pull this thing and reseal it and whatnot. Shouldn't need much else. It runs pretty good. Got this ignition wire running down in between here. Gotta take it off too. I don't think I'm crawling under there to take that off down there on the starter. Looks like what I did once before. Put a butt connector and tape it up. I might look into a quick connect deal or something here after I put this back together. Yeah, that's what I did. I did an old yellow butt connector. And for the record, I did unhook the battery off camera. Yep, so I think I'm just gonna wiggle that apart. Yep, works for me. Meantime, while that's apart, this is apart, I'll try to locate something a little quicker and permanent, like weather resistant, weather pack thing or something, whatever they call them. See if I can get these header bolts out and this header off without demolishing the spark plugs. Kind of don't want to take them out. All right. Now these got the header bolts with the 12 point on them. That's one nice thing about that ball thread I put in there to hold that big nut. It holds the header up too, so it ain't all bad. Just looks like hell. Never see that again. I'm gonna have to get a 3/8 wrench for 2 of those. Yeah, so there's 2, one here and one back here. Right here at the bend, you're gonna have to get on them with a wrench because you can't, pipes are in the way there, that angle. Oh. That's real tight. You need to get a longer wrench. Trying not to get in the view here. Okay, so apparently you get that stud out of there. Alright, so got car around under her again. It's later in the evening. Had some things come up, but cleaned off, wipe off these lines and everything. That's good. And anything I can figure is look like it was right around here, so I cranked on it off camera here, and I think it moved a little bit. It might have been just working itself loose and leaking there. I mean, otherwise I can't see nowhere else it would come out. I'll probably try to crank on it some more, but at least taking this header off made it easier. Still kind of tight area though. I don't think I'll get on it any better though. You think they'd have came up with a better idea with the space you got here. God damn. I can't move it no more. maybe I'll try a little longer wrench. There ain't much room there. Just bottom one, Mike. Yeah, I don't know. Might be all it is. Let me get a longer wrench. Alright. A little bit longer wrench here. Sure as hell ain't a lot of room here. I can't get no tighter. I think this is tight. I think it's just seeping out that line right there. If that don't fix it, might have to take it all the way out and fix the flare. I don't know. But I'm gonna spray this with brake clean and wipe her down, and I guess put the header back on. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow or another evening after after work. Ugh. So yeah, take some brake clean there and a rag, and I'll clean that up a little bit under there, and then I guess we'll get putting that header back on. See you then. Hey guys, what's up? It's a couple evenings later. Just been busy with life and things. Also, I was waiting on a new 3-inch header collector. I ordered it off Amazon. It was cheaper than, well, there's two there, but cheaper than running to the auto parts, spending almost 25 bucks or more for two paper ones. So I got these copper looking ones off Amazon. Spent less than 5 bucks. Well, they're made in China. Okay, so what was I saying? So now that I got that, I have time. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the header back on this side, reattach everything, the wire, the plug wires. I didn't get a quick connect thing for that starter wire, but I just had to try to recrimp it. While the header was off here, you can see where it was wet with the fluid on each side down here on the lower part of the primaries here on the header. I took the nat gas torch to it a little bit, tried to burn some of that off, so that way if I want to get it back together here, it ain't so much of that stuff making smoke. I want to see if I can find that leak, if it's still leaking. I might have tightened the fitting just enough, because that looks like where it was coming from, but I couldn't see a really active leak. But it could have been just all this burning off too, who knows. But I figured that nat gas torch would get good and hot, so I just sat here off camera and did that for a while. I think I got most of it. There's probably still a little burn off, but so yeah, we'll throw that back on here and see what happens. So I'll set you up here while I get ready to get going, or get this back together, I should say. I'm all over the place. Anyway, let's get to it. Alright. See if I can get this butt connector off here. Not cutting wire, messing anything up. I don't want to have to shorten the wire I don't think I have any wire here to replace it. I mean, I think I got an old harness somewhere, but it's on there. Creep it the other way and get it off. Other than that, what is that? What the hell that is? Had the other end here not too long ago. Where the hell is it at? Right here. Well, I mean, I guess if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. Make her happen. Make her happen, Cap'n. Wonder if I can get that header on from the top. No, I'm not going to bother painting it. Clearly, it'll just burn off anyway. Just scrape the fingernail. Not like scratching a chalkboard. I gotta come up from the bottom. How did I do that? Maybe I gotta... Damn it. Put it the other way. I'm gonna go clean off these port surfaces here. I got some stuff on there. See if I can clean it up any. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's try this again. I think I'm up in there. Probably can't hear me. I need to get a new mic. That other one don't even come on no more. I get this up in here without breaking off any of the plugs. Oh, maybe. Some bolts started here. Oh, I guess I gotta get the hard to get one started, don't I? Started. Okay, got it started there. Oh, a little piece of oil thread. I'll reuse this gasket. It's a little dirty. Otherwise, it's probably alright. A little soft fire, but if it leaks, I'll just change it out. I think this one will be fine. Now that we got some bolts started, slide the gasket in here. Oh hell. That's dumb. Why ain't that one started? Guess they're not slotted to begin with. I slotted the other one back there to make it fit. Alright, so rest of these started. Go ahead and get these two ones I gotta get with the wrench. Go ahead and get them tightened first, and then I'll tighten the rest. Alright, put this big ugly bolt nut back on here. It's ugly, but it does the trick. Why not turn that in the rest of the way? Yeah. cut a slot in it so I could screw it in with a screwdriver. Make life a little bit easier. Couldn't tell you if it leaks there or not. Is this a screw in there still? Pretty sure like I shouldn't use this. We'll see. I'm not making that real tight. Alright, so that's tight up there. Let's go ahead and connect these wires back together. Cut this back to good wire. Luckily, I did find a pack of those butt connectors. I didn't have none of my other organizer thing of them. Thought I was kind of SOL for a second. It might help if I strip back this. Alright, I'm gonna zip tie that wire up, put them plug wires back on there, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'll get down here. Hook this collector back up. I don't know the brand of these, or begin with a V. I don't know, some weird name. But they were cheap, so I was all about it. They were cheap and I needed them. Even though we're just going to use one. I'll just hang that on the wall in the garage. Now, where does this go? Guess I just figured out when I'm down there. Go put her on. Alright, we're back here. I had to let the camera / phone charge. In case you're wondering why I don't use those other little cameras more, I've just grown used to the phone, really. I mean, if I could find like another one, just an old one that's no service really, I'd use it as a camera so I wouldn't have to worry about messing up my main one. But if anybody knows any good affordable cameras that are just as good as using this phone, go ahead and comment. But anyway, on a side note, this is all together. I went ahead and did the collector and stuff underneath there. I was going to film it till I realized I was on 1% battery. I just went ahead and got it done. Plug wires is back on. We did that wire. I think everything's back together. I just got to hook the battery. Yeah, hook the battery terminal back up here, and I'll get it started up. I'll probably put that bore scope camera thing under there again to watch those areas of the lines connect when it's running there, just to see if it starts leaking, since I dried it off. Excuse me. But yeah, I'll get that set up, and then I'll get the car started. We'll see what happens. Well, I got it running here. Kind of wondering if it wasn't just that fluid that was on the header that wasn't getting hot enough to burn away. But the question is, how did it get there to begin with? It seems like it's coming off the header now. Not as bad. I'm going to go ahead and check the trans fluid. Unless I overfilled it one time or something and it seeped down there, I don't know what happened, but it doesn't seem to be smoking right now, since I can't really tell that good. Might have oddly fixed it. Hey, what's up, guys? It's actually a few days later. Life just keeps getting in the way of everything I try to do lately. But where we were, I was planning on test driving this thing the next day. See if it starts leaking again. Hopefully it's good and we can move on. So I'm gonna get this thing started up here. Let it warm up a little bit. Kind of a cooler day, but not too bad. And we'll take her for a ride and check things along the way if we have to. Just more or less around the block area here a little bit, but far enough to test out what we need to test out. So get this started and things set up, and we'll get this ride going. So during the ride here, come to find out the audio sucked from the cameras I was using. So I'm probably just going to make this short and sweet. Ain't no fun without sound. It's just me driving and talking about the car, how it's running and everything. A little more facts about the car and whatnot. So I'm probably just going to shorten the scenes here and get to the conclusion of everything. Maybe later on down the road we'll have better, like I said, better stuff to show here as far as ride-alongs and things like that, and sound actually be good. So just enjoy this little bit. Well, must have fixed the problem. She's burning clean. No oil burning off there, nothing. This engine leaks like a sieve. I gotta reseal it sometime, but it's down there around the front seal of the oil pan and the timing cover there. The oil pan's kind of mangled or something a little bit. I just need to put another pan and gasket on that. Probably do a few other things to it if I ever take it out and reseal it. I don't think it needs anything too extensive as far as mechanical. It runs pretty good. I'm not sure how many miles are on this rebuild over the years, but might be 1,000, a couple hundred, I don't know. Like I said, I dailied it there for a little bit, but I was young and dumb, didn't really keep track of the mileage. At least that I remember. So that being said, well, looks like we fixed it. I think that's it for this one. Let me know if you want to see more on this car or do more to this car. I'd like to, but I kind of want to reach the funds to get parts and things like that for it to make it how I want it. You know, for this car, this is one of them cars I want to do right. You know, you got a lot of these guys on YouTube here just get it running and get it all that good stuff. Well, I mean, I got it that far already. I kind of wanted to get back to its original look as far as paint wise. I'll still keep it muscly and all that good stuff. But I want to get repainted, black or red stripes down the side and everything. Eventually redo the interior, but mainly just I want to get the body in good shape and any mechanicals. I mean, it's still a pretty solid car other than that, but it needs leaf springs in the back, and these cars are notorious for. And you know, go through the front suspension and all that probably, even though it's pretty tight, but you know, you got 40-some-year-old bushings and whatnot in there, so I mean, they're probably just fine for around here locally, but either way, they should get done at some point. I'm just a little wary of the coil springs there. I ain't really messed with those too much. I mean, you got to be safe, obviously, but you know, I've always been wary of them. But you know, other people out there say it's not too bad to do. I've seen a lot of videos on how to do it, and other people do it, but I just haven't attempted it myself. But you know, I think it's one of them things I just got to overcome. So anyway, enough yammering. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The bell, everything. Help this channel grow a little bit. So we can work on more cool stuff like this, or afford it down the road, whatever it might be. Because you know, that's my main goal. Work on old stuff like this mainly, but starting out, I got to work on whatever apparently. So because you know, the way economy is these days and the values of things going up, the cars that are like you can pick up for what we picked that thing up 4 years ago, well, they look somewhat like this. I know, not that ideal muscly. I mean, that's probably a good car once we get it going, finished up there, but it ain't no 70s muscle car or anything like that, you know. They're going sky high right now. Same with square body trucks, which I'd like to get one again. I've had some. Well, I had one. I owned it. I say I've had some bunch of stuff, but I was a kid then, so they were in my dad's name. He only bought them because of me. So, but anyway, I'm doing it again. I gotta stop that. Thanks for watching. I think the next thing will be back on. Should be back on the International there, and prepping that more to get that engine set in there. So we're ready to do that, or who knows, something else might pop up. But thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one, I guess.